There we go.
All right, guys, welcome back to Z's Comics Reviews. First up, we actually do have some comic book industry news. Couple things. Boom Studios acquired, I guess, by Penguin Random House. They are becoming a huge juggernaut in the comic industry. They've already acquired rights for DC, IDW, Marvel in certain aspects, and what this entails for Boom Studios moving forward. No idea. Nobody has been able to figure out what's going on there yet. But as soon as we know something, y'all guys will know something. Them buying it out this close to the end of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers run, I don't know if the next Power Rangers comic is going to be from Boom Studios. They've already canceled the Netflix series. Did you hear about that?
I heard about it.
Kind of disappointing. I was kind of hoping
not be any Boom.
Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. Also, CGC has hired a manga expert in order to hopefully soon start offering services to grade manga. So I'm thinking they're going to be about the size of an N64 slab that they do for when they grade video games.
How many people do you think are going to know what an N64 slab?
I mean, like if you know what grading is, you probably know how big it is.
True.
I mean,
True.
Yeah, it's kind of a niche thing at the moment. But yeah, I'm kind of excited because I got a Loot Crate exclusive Konosuba #1 that I want to get graded. It's not going to fetch a high grade because I think my kids bent it, but I don't know. I just the novelty of it. Just the novelty of it. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. So yeah, that about does it for all the news regarding comics for now. And then we're covering some movie stuff in the other video, so don't worry about that. So moving on, we're going to actually talk about X-Men #1. The recent series, new #1, came out this week, is a soft reboot after the whole Krakoan era. So I didn't actually get a chance to read it, but our guy Thunder here, he's going to regale us with X-Men #1 from this from Jed MacKay. Dang it! I should have. Oh man, Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman. I definitely need to read this one. Love those guys. Jed MacKay is he's my favorite Moon Knight writer right now. He's currently writing Blood Hunt. Moon Knight? Yes, he's actually Blood Hunt's. All right, so getting off topic. All right, let's get back to it. X-Men #1. Regale us, buddy. Regale us.
Okay, so this is like the first X-Men comic I've read in a while. Which kind of makes it pretty nice because it's a nice little start off to the new age. And it's split into two stories, okay? It's you got the X-Men setting up shop in Alaska right now. That's where their big HQ is. So you got a story of Beast trying to, talking to the sheriff of whatever Alaskan town that they're in. And just trying to explain to him, hey, this is why we're here. This is what we're doing. He shows them around, to their crops that they're growing and stuff like that. What they're manufacturing. Just to, show them hey, we're just trying to build a home. That's it. We had our home taken away from us. This is all we're trying to do here. And then there's a second story. The second part takes place with Cyclops and the team heading to some unknown location. As it's put in here, it's location X.
Ooh,
and so
X, lots of
X's. Right? And so Cyclops and the team are after these are going to save what we find out is Wolverine, because evidently Wolverine got captured while on a mission. And
when doesn't this dude get captured? He's the best there is at what he does. I don't think so.
It's the best at getting captured. That's what he does.
That's true. Laura would never be caught dead. Yeah. Getting caught.
And then there was a little funny thing there though, because when the people that captured him realized
oh my gosh, we're getting infiltrated, they were but how? We checked him for trackers and all that, and Wolverine's just you don't need a tracker when you're friends with people that can read minds. He's all I got to do is just think. So evidently, all he did was think real loud, as he said. And so the whole purpose for this little invasion of this group was the X-Men got word that there were these new undisclosed mutants that they hadn't discovered yet. So they were going there to try to free them. I'm not gonna say what exactly happens. Again, I'm working on my
keeping things back, not trying to spoil too
I'm proud
much,
of you.
so people can go and like, read this. But it's a very solid start,
Yeah?
like
All right.
solid like 3.5 out of 4, just because like it does a good job at, if you haven't read the past few issues or whatever, of like knowing what's going on
Of
with
the
X-Men.
previous era?
Yeah, the
Okay.
previous era. There's a nice little like in comic way where I'm pretty sure it was Kid Omega, like Quentin, that they make a bad student because they have a little quip in there where he's like asking, "What are we doing here? Like, who's all these people? Who's this? Who's that?" And one of the other members of the group is like, "Bro, weren't you paying attention in class when Storm was like teaching us all this?" And he's like, "No, I wasn't. I zone out." So Juggernaut actually ends up being like, "You know what, man? I paid attention, so you know what?" And he starts going through all the past stuff.
Nice.
And like Juggernaut and Magic kind of have like a weird buddy cop thing going on in this. But I'm
I
for
could
it.
see that.
I'm
All right.
for it.
All right.
Mhm.
I could see that.
Nice.
All right.
Very solid issue. Very nice start to the thing.
So good to like recommend it.
Yes, I
You
would recommend it.
All right. So
good starting point.
my buddy
if
here
you
is giving it
haven't
a
gotten into X-Men.
3.5.
Yeah, I'd say a
All
good
right.
3.5.
All right, cool. I'm actually really excited because, like I said, Jed McKay
Yes.
and then Ryan Stegman on artwork, freaking awesome. All right, so moving on to Death in the Family. Robin Lives.
The story
So-
we would have gotten if people weren't douchey and liked him back in
So,
the 90s.
a little bit of a backstory. Way back then, when Jason Todd was about to get killed in Death in the Family, the original, DC actually had a call-in
Mhm.
service where you called one number and that would equal a vote. Well, one number equaled Jason dies. One other number equaled Jason lives. Well, it was a landslide victory where Jason was killed by the
Not very
consumers.
likable. Not
All
very
right.
likable.
Not gonna lie, man. I've read some stories, and yeah, he is kind of douchey. All right, but eventually he comes back and whatnot. But this series actually got relaunched recently with the alternate ending for Batman number 428, also
What if,
titled
if you will.
Robin Lives. Basically, it's what if Robin lived instead of getting killed by the Joker way back when in Batman number
People took
428.
pity on him.
Yeah, exactly. It's from the DC from the Vault. Well, this is a miniseries. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries spinning off from that "What if Jason lived" moment, and it starts off. And this is part of the solicitation. This isn't a spoiler or anything. It starts off with the murder of the Joker. Okay, straight up, and then it Tarantino's the thing. The artwork is great. The card stock is reminiscent of the 80s, 90s era of comic books. So it feels like you're reading an old school comic book. And then not only that, the art is grainy, kind of like how it was back then too. And it's really good. It really adds to the story. The artwork itself is great. The storyline, aside from Tarantinoing the Joker dying in the beginning, goes back, and Jason's messed up. He's beaten, he's bloodied, and he's in the hospital. And it takes place over the course of a few weeks, where he's trying to recover, and everybody's trying to just give him, the space and time he needs. But time and space can only do so much when you're messed up in the head. So I'm not going to get into the specifics on here, but I do highly recommend this story. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I'm really excited. Like I said, man, I've said it before, I'm not a DC guy, but this one, really good. I'm hoping that it doesn't mess up on the end. All right? I hope it sticks a landing. Like I said, 4-issue miniseries. Pick it up at your local comic shop. Death in the Family, Robin Lives from the DC Vault, number 1. 4 out of 5. Definitely recommend it. Moving on to...
Moving right along.
Oh, man, now I got to go home and watch the Muppets. Moving on to Ultimates number 2. I did not read this one. Thunder, regale us. Regale us.
I didn't read it either.
I thought you said
I'm
you read
just
it.
kidding. I read it.
Oh, my God. I am so unprepared.
But yes, it's a nice continuation from where we picked off. The team of the Ultimates is infiltrating the White House, doing their own little run on the big house.
Now, is this like Nightcrawler did in X2? Or
Oh
just
no, they
no?
weren't subtle about it. They went right up
snap.
the front gate.
Oh, snap.
Right up the front door.
All right, they White House down that thing. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Like Ant-Man and Wasp,
Is
Wait,
she Wasp?
Giant Man?
Giant Man?
Giant Man or Wasp? I can't remember if he's Ant Man or if he's
Giant
Giant
Man.
Man right now. But yeah, Giant Man. We'll go with that. Giant Man right now
Puns.
and Wasp are like taking care of all the individuals on the outside, and Iron Lad and Cap go inside. Don't know where Doom is. Like he didn't show up in this issue at all. Like he's somewhere just
Well,
and about.
supposedly in the next couple, he's going to be like playing a huge part in a 3, 4, and 5, where we're going to find out what happened to this world's version of Susan and Ben and
Susan.
Johnny and all them, and
Johnny.
hope maybe even this version of Victor, because as you've seen in issue 1,
Yes.
this is not even a spoiler. This version of Doom is
Not
this universe's Reed Richards. So,
Reed. But yes, so like Doom, he's missing from this issue. He's not in here. But Iron Lad and
missing
Cap
from the mission.
get into and talk to the president,
Huh. Who is the president?
who is what is that? What's the name? It's an M name. It's an M name.
Michael.
No, it's like May. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. I'm blanking on the name right now. So sorry.
It's probably
But
a good reason.
He's dressed as Tony's father. He's in the gold. He's in the OG, the Mark I Iron Man suit. He made it go Midas. That's the name because
Midas?
because he played. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. I think I've read like one story with him.
but yeah. Now that I've said gold, because he gold plated out the silver OG Iron Man suit, it just like clicked. So I was like, oh yeah,
Midas
he
touch.
said Midas. I have the Midas
But he
touch.
touched too
And he
much.
did. Gold member, and so a lot of it they do end up having like going to like button heads with the president. There is a nice little fight in between, but a lot of this is just like talking, because part of this issue is
World building.
kind of world
Okay.
building, because part of this issue is Iron Lad like sending Cap into like this holographic virtual world so he can show the history of this world. So
So he's bringing. So this is basically an exposition issue where they're bringing Cap up to
Yes,
speed
bringing
and
him
bringing
up
the
to
reader up to
speed.
speed
Mhm.
in the fictional universe.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's very world building because like Cap and Midas have like a conversation talking about how Cap's like, I need to save America. Like this is not what it's supposed to be. But Midas is like giving him the old like, hey, you've been asleep for so long. World's changed. This isn't what America is anymore. And yada 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 stuff like that.
Nice.
Like it's
All right.
pretty solid issue.
What would you give?
I'm gonna put it in the half. Like, well, no, I'll give it a 4 just because it does
Wow.
kind of it does introduce a like. It's not a new character, but it's newish to the world here. Like it shows that that one hero is actually powering basically most of America with her powers, and just being held prisoner by the president.
So the Flash from DK2.
Pretty much. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
So
it's nice. Like the ending of it really gave me the hint of like, okay, dang, stuff is gonna happen.
all right.
So yeah,
nice.
I'll go ahead and give it that 4. It's
All
nice.
right,
The Ultimate
cool.
Universe is doing great.
All right. So, all right. Now we are talking about Kill All Immortals, #1. Now, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the news about this one. It has been pushed back so many times. We thought we were never going to get it out. But I got to be honest, man. It is John Wick meets Norse mythology. I don't know how else to describe it. It's violent, bloody, and the story is basic. But that's not a good. That's not a bad thing. Sometimes you can overthink the story, but with the premise that this is giving off, simple is always best. It's a story about survival, revenge, and like the main character Freya thought she was out, and now they just keep bringing her back in, and
Now she's gonna fray them.
Okay, I've been making puns all stream, all video, but that was the worst one.
I think that's just gonna be my thing because
Okay.
evidently my puns just don't land with you.
They like
But I think they land.
they're like three quarters. They don't land with me. But
okay.
anyway,
I try.
Kill All Immortals. The artwork is amazing. The premise, like I said, very simple, but that's not a bad thing. It's like a John Wick movie, right? You don't need overly complicated things. He's an assassin that got out, and they keep bringing him in. Well, she doesn't want anything to do with her family, who are also immortals. And this is actually kind of a twist. Her father is Eric the Red.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like her entire family aside from I guess her mom, are immortals, and they are spoken about in like business in the underworld. In the business underworld, they are spoken about in whispers and hushed tones, and
Dark corners.
yes. So I'm not. I think I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5 because I'm really excited about this one.
Got vibes.
I'm really excited about this one. Like I said, it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, but dude,
The wait was worth it.
I think it was all right. And a lot of people are going to look at the premise and say, "Oh man, this is not what I was expecting. I'm so disappointed, dude." It was literally described as John Wick and Vikings.
It has
all right?
come
I don't
from the
know what
land of
else
the
you
ice
want.
and snow and is now here.
I don't know what else anybody's going to want out of this. You know what I mean? It's violent. It's the artwork is good. The storyline is good. So yeah, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I highly recommend you pick one up and read it. But yeah, there's that. And then we're moving on to Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 1. I think this one came out before an issue that was supposed to be out before. Because when it opens up, they're talking about something that happened in the Wonder Woman tie-in for Absolute Power. But I don't remember getting that one in because I've been getting Wonder Woman in. I have subscribers for that. And nobody has the Ultimate Power yet, or Absolute Power.
Maybe some
starts
packages
off.
were lost in the hurricane.
I don't know, maybe. I checked in everything. Anyway, Absolute Power Task Force 7 starts off. The Last Son is tasked with hunting down the Shazams. That's not even a spoiler. That's like in the previews and
Shamley.
stuff. And the Shamley? Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one, Shamley. But artwork is good. Storyline, like throughout from A to B, very good. I think it's it moves quick. You hit the
does,
ground
yeah.
running in this one.
There's not much like exposition. It's
Yeah,
just like,
it's just
let's go.
the most of it is explained on the run, and they are literally on the run.
Yes.
Dude, this one gives me massive Terminator vibes.
Yeah.
All right.
Robot.
So Last Son, his debut issue, that is the Superman Amazo.
The one that took the powers
Yeah.
from Superman and his son in Absolute Power number 1.
And so yeah, this one opens up. Apparently, somebody tried to depower the Shazam family, and they're on the run trying to find out how to defend themselves, and they're being chased by the Last Son. There's some twists in here. There's like, oh man, I can't believe this guy showed up, and then somebody dies.
Some people
all right.
get
This is a blue.
One other person, maybe. We're not too sure yet.
No, I
unclear.
saw they were in the containment units at the end.
I mean, I saw 2 of them in the containment.
No,
units,
I
but
saw
don't know
I saw
about
all
the-
3.
Oh,
I saw all 3.
Okay.
All right.
He's there.
Yeah. So
And they at least just get messed up pretty bad.
it's a core story, and there's like an epilogue onto it.
Exactly.
The epilogue is just one of those things where you just feel friggin' frustrated because, oh man, wring somebody's neck.
Almost literally.
Oh yeah, they somebody gets Homer Simpson or what Bart Simpson, I guess,
Simpson, yes.
on this one, and I highly recommend picking this one up because I'm really trying not to spoil anything right here because this is a really good read. Somebody dies, somebody may die, and there's a Homer Simpson scene that just made me laugh, and there's a talking dinosaur. That's actually pretty cool.
The Rock of Eternity gets OSHA.
Oh yeah, Rock of Eternity does get OSHA. They can't get cell service, but they can get government agencies.
That's why you got to be careful with OSHA.
Mhm.
They don't play around.
They do not. All right, 28 inches between fixtures. All right, 28 inches. All right, so that about does it for our reviews, comic reviews, comic news. So go ahead, hit the like and subscribe if you enjoyed our random banter, and check out our socials on the About Me and the description for the videos. So later.
Later. We always listen. I took the chain off for this one.